you from Taste Buds Kitchen in Bannockburn, Illinois. And I'm joined today by my young sous chef,
Miles.
Miles. How old are you?
11.
11. So Miles and I stopped by to the kitchen today. He's my son. And we stopped by the kitchen today because we wanted to show you a fun recipe. Now we're gonna do this recipe what we call at TBK Mommy and Me style. So you'll see this in our with caregiver classes. We do these on the weekends typically for ages 2 to 8 with caregiver. It's a really fun way to get little ones into the kitchen and trying new things. And what's unique about it is that we're going to be using individual portions today. So Miles is going to work alongside me in the recipe doing the same thing. And we are making soft pretzels today. So we're going to be making our soft pretzel dough from scratch. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, fantastic. So we are going to start with warm water. I'll work on my side and you work over there on your side. So we're going to start with a little bit of warm water, and we're going to start with this green one, which is yeast, and we're going to pour the yeast into the warm water first. Miles, did you know that yeast is actually a living thing?
Yes.
It is. And when it goes and gets a warm bath and gets something sweet to eat, like this brown sugar that we're going to add now, it starts to release carbon dioxide, which is what creates those bubbles. So let's go ahead and add our brown sugar in. So we need to feed it something sweet to eat and give it a nice warm bath. And then you can take your little mini tool spatula and start to stir. Great job. And we want that just to dissolve in that warm water for just a couple of minutes. Till it's nice and combined. We want this to usually start to see a little bit of bubbles. We're gonna rush through it, but at home, you wanna make sure that you see some bubbling happening so that yeast is actually starting to gobble up its yummy, sugary breakfast. Okay, so then we have a little bit of flour. So into the flour, we're gonna go ahead and add just first a little pinch of salt. So we're gonna use our pinching fingers. So if you've ever pinched your brother, you know how to use this. Don't do that at home. Okay, so we're gonna take just a little pinch and we're gonna sprinkle it into our salt. So we're working with our dry ingredients. And so if these are our dry ingredients, Miles, what are these called?
The wet ingredients.
The wet ingredients, absolutely. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add our wet ingredients into the dry, which is just that flour and that little pinch of salt that we just
All
did.
of it?
Yep, go ahead, all of it. Excellent job. And then we're just going to start by gently stirring as long as we can until we're ready to start kneading this dough. And I'm gonna scoot this to the side, but this will be the pan that we'll bake it on.
So once you stir, doesn't it make it, the wet ingredients, doesn't it make it more of a solid than a liquid?
Yeah, great point. A little bit of science there, right? So now we've turned a liquid and a dry ingredient into more of a solid. So I don't know about you, but mine's starting to get kind of clumpy together. And it's really just sort of scooting around in my bowl. So I'd say this is a good time to move it out onto our clean work surface. What do you think?
Sure.
All right, so let's dump it out onto the counter here. You can do it right over by you. Excellent job. All right, now we're gonna use our nice clean hands. Good idea, roll up those sleeves. We're gonna use our nice clean hands and we're gonna start kneading. And we wanna use what we call paddle hands. Let's show our audience what paddle hands are, right? This is not paddle hands, right? This is paddle hands so that our hands are nice and tightly together so that when we go to start kneading the dough, we don't get any of that goopy dough or liquidy parts in between our fingers. So we're gonna use our paddle hands and we're gonna gently start to bring the dough together. And we're gonna start by pulling it over from the top and just gently pushing forward. Excellent job. Then we'll take the dough a quarter turn to the left. Yep, perfect. Fold over from the top and push down. So we each have enough here to make 2 pretzels, just a small individual portion. And we're gonna keep kneading. Excellent. If we need a little bit more flour, we have what we call bench flour, or just a little bit of an extra flour there so that it doesn't get too sticky in our hands. Good, excellent, right? Okay, so fold over and push in. And then make sure you're rotating it. Do you need a little bit more flour there?
Yes.
Okay, fold over and smush through. Now this is gonna be a really nice, soft dough. What does this feel like to you? Does it feel kind of like a putty?
slime because it's really sticky, but putty-ish.
Yeah, right? All right, so let's go ahead and keep working on our nice work surface. And notice mine has kind of incorporated all the flour and has gotten not so sticky. So let's just push over from the top. There you go, yours is starting to get that way too.
Let's just try to soak in the flour, the dough.
All right. So what we're going for is just this nice little soft, smooth dough ball. And once this is done, we're gonna put a little bit of olive oil in a bowl and we're gonna set it aside and cover it and let it rise in a warm environment for about 30 minutes or so before we can come back and go ahead and form them into our pretzel shapes. So we're gonna roll it like a long snake. So notice how I'm rolling from the center and pushing out as I go. Like this, watch my hands. And the skinnier and longer you get yours, the bigger the pretzel is and the more obvious your pretzel shape will be.
Yeah.
So this one I made even longer. Looking good. So now I'm gonna go like this and like this, just crisscrossing at the end.
Oops. Let's make this more of a cylinder shape.
There you go. And then flip flop over the top. There, you can see my little end sticking out this time. You got it? Perfect. So we'll bring our sheet tray over here. And anytime we work with any sort of rising dough, we want to make sure that there's plenty of room in between them because these will puff up even more in the oven. Nice job. Now you could make any different kind of shapes or swirls. And then we made a little baking soda water mixture. When we brush this on top, why don't you go ahead and brush that on top of all 4 of them? When we brush that on top, this is what's going to give it that glossy look when we put it in the oven that pretzels are known for, that darker color and the glossy finish. Perfect, go ahead and do that on all of them. We're gonna go ahead and bake these in the oven, and then when they come out, we'll show you what happens next. All right, so now Miles is gonna go ahead and he's gonna brush some of the melted butter onto our delicious pretzels that just came out of the oven nice and warm. All right, and now while that butter is liquidy, go ahead and sprinkle just a little bit of that spice blend that you made on top of each one. Okay, here's our finished product. Cheers. Nice job. Okay, let's taste.
So
Yum.
good.
Elbow bump. Elbow 5. Make these at home. So yum, right? 2 thumbs up?
Yes.